Dennis, I wanted to respond to something that you said, and that is, I'm not too sure whether there's really any choice. That's a deep question, and it's not something that I assume. You seem to assume that you've made these choices and they've resulted in a richer life. I don't know how you separate the chooser from experience. I don't, when I look within myself, I don't find that. And I have done. I mean, previously in my life, there was a time when I imagined that I was responsible for everything. And if I didn't do it, it wasn't going to get done. And now that seems to be flipped entirely on its head, and everything is just being done, including Robert. And I don't really seem to have any choice. So I wonder what you make of that, Dennis.
So let's say that we can never know if God exists or not, if free will exists or not, if it's duality or non-duality. Let's say that we are never going to get the answers to any of those questions. We're absolutely stonewalled. I think that leaves us with a couple of choices. We can just sit here and say, oh, well, or we can decide what we want to believe by pulling it straight out of our ass with no justification whatsoever, because there's never anybody going to come forward and give us an answer that's worth anything. So I have chosen arbitrarily to believe that I am making decisions. I can't prove it. I wouldn't even attempt to prove it, but I am a happier person for believing that my choices have some effect on the future that unfolds for me. And that is how I choose to live. And it's a completely arbitrary choice.
Well, so that's essentially a religious view, yes?
It is making a choice view without even knowing if I can make a choice. And yet the opposite is to say, well, I don't know if I can make a choice, so I'll be paralyzed to not make one. Either one's an arbitrary choice.
Well, but the analog there is to a Christian who says, I can't prove there's a God, but I'm going to live my life as if there is. That seems to be what a Christian would say if you tell that person, you can't prove there's a God. Then he or she will say, yes, I can't prove it, but I choose to live as if they were because my life is better when I have faith. That's what
I can accept that analogy, but it still doesn't change the fact that we're not going to get an answer. In my opinion, we're not going to get an answer about any of this stuff.
Well, I agree.
So therefore, we have every right to make arbitrary choices. And I choose to believe that the things I do matter and that I have choice. And I find I enjoy operating my life with more pleasure that way.
Yes. So that you're assuming, you see, you're assuming that there's choice.
Yeah, I am. I'm assuming it arbitrarily, pulled it straight out of my ass. I haven't got a reason in the world to tell you why it's true.
Right. So that's what I call faith. You believe something without a good reason.
Right. And we all know that faith is arbitrary. And so if we know that faith is arbitrary, does that automatically call us to make no choices of faith?
Why is that the only choice?
I think that's arbitrary too.
Why is it either no free will, no choice, sit on the couch and drool staring at the ceiling, or get things done because you're the power that does it? Why is that? Why are those the only options? Has it not occurred that there's other options?
I could not agree with you more, Judy. And that takes us to the next evolution of thought down the road, is with our simple human being brains, recently evolved monkey consciousnesses, we tend to simplify things because that's what simple brains do. And we often classify things as either or. It's either this or it's that. And running around with that little simple child's toy of logic, we say there's determinism or there's free will. There's God, there's not God. All of that is pure crap. This is all one continuous, unified, happening all at once experience. And the only way it ever gets divided is by our ideas and our words and our concepts. It's the only way we can communicate. It's the only way I can say anything to you right now. But it is an illusion. It's all just one conscious big happening all at once, inseparable, everything moving at once, every molecule of water going downhill
So you're
knows
completely
exactly the path it
contradicting.
needs to follow.
You're
Go
contradicting
ahead.
yourself. I mean, are you aware of that? You're trying to
Yes.
have it both ways.
Yes.
Because
And it's okay.
here's the thing. When you say, I just pull it out of my ass,
Hmm.
who put it there?
Me.
Really? What a powerful guy you are.
What is my other choice except to sit here with the great
What
dial
if it's
tone just
not
going
up to
off?
you? What if it's not a matter of choice at all? When we use expressions like, it came to me out of the blue, are we making a choice? Or are we riding what came? When you say you pull it out of your ass, you are saying you have nothing to do with it. It's in your ass. You don't know how it got there. You don't know what put it there. You don't know where it came from. And then you just pull it out. You're just not as powerful as you think you are. You just don't actually have, and you're saying so in your own words. You can tell yourself you are making choices. And I understand that that's comforting. But at the same time, then you say that it's a delusion. So which is it?